movie with the
This
red
video is
fox,
sponsored
right?
by Omaze. Want to win a Tesla? Better listen to the ad. Hi, I'm Sarcastic Chorus, and some people really need to pull their heads out of their asses. So if you're not on the internet much, first off, good for you. But for the rest of the unfortunate souls like myself, you may have noticed a certain backlash brewing. This anger at companies like Disney. Not for any of the millions of deserving reasons, though. No, people are angry because gay, which equals sex, which equals Disney is shoving sex at my kids, and I'm too uninvolved in their lives to stop them. Now, I could.
What is wrong with people? What does it matter if a character in the movie's gay or not? Like, long as they're not shoving it in my face, like, pride, pride, pride. Like, I don't care. Kiss a woman, kiss a dude. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you transition in the middle of the movie. Like, I don't care. As long as you don't shove it in my face, like, shoving it down my damn throat, I'm fine with it. Hell, I don't got no problem with it. Do what you want. Yeah. Like, parents overreacting about this gay stuff in, like, Disney movies and stuff. Y'all need to chill out, man.
Would pretend to give this argument the benefit of the doubt, but seeing as people only seem to really care about sex in fiction, when it's non-straight couples, well, let's just cut to the chase. Shipping isn't inherently sexual, sexuality doesn't equal sex, and having LGBTQ characters in a show can't make your kids gay because they already are. Hi, again, I'm sarcastic.
Hey, I got a question. Did they have two different Red Panda movies? Cause I swear to God, like, I don't remember when it was, but it was like a while ago that I could have swore that they did like a 2 and a 1 for Red Panda. I don't remember if they ever did it or not, if it was just one movie, but I don't know, it blew up and
I am out of fucks to give. Originally, I want to make this a Turning Red video because talking about Disney equals big money, like all the other view-hungry YouTubers, but because of a cavalcade of setbacks, poor decisions, and enough rewrites to make a documentary, I've decided to discuss this pushback we've seen against LBG representation in media. Most of this footage will be turning red. I finished the whole video twice, then restarted it twice, and I'm too burnt out to try and...
that's some like...
all of it. There's the real reason. Now, first, the appeal that we're waiting. I did like Turning Red. It was the most I've enjoyed a Disney film in a while, easily better than the Pixar film we all forgot about, the disappointingly straight one, and the one with a soundtrack. As in spite of the nonsensical, often racist backlash against a film that hadn't even come out yet, Turning Red proved to be a really fun romp that continued the new age of Disney, where the main...
How is it racist, though? I'm confused.
Films are generational trauma, as the kids who use Disney as an escape are finally the ones making movies. People started shipping May and Miriam because of course they did. They had emotional moments, so of course it happened. But because of that happening, it culminated in people...
How was Turning Red racist? Like, when did they do something racist in the movie? Was the movie racist? What the fuck? I ain't never watched the movie. Wait. I only like the song, that one song. Nobody like you.
Is a better excuse than I hate this. So, I'll be taking a look at this.
Everybody, I don't know who made this character, but everybody was simping over this motherfucker for like a while. I don't know why. I don't know what was happening, but man, every time I scroll through TikTok, it was this girl singing "You Never Met Nobody Like You." I got friends and I got buddies. It's true. Like, everybody was simping over this girl for like the longest. Isn't she like lesbo or something? I don't know.
This idea and just giving my non-horrific take. Speaking of horrific, imagine living without clean drinking water. It is a tragedy. It is a honest-to-God human failure. But thankfully, Omaze is partnered with Give Power and 501c3 to help build a cleaner, more sustainable, and more hopeful future. And for this event, to help raise money, we're giving away a Tesla. Yes, a Tesla. Not just any Tesla, their top-of-line...
Shit, do I need to enter? I want a Tesla.
...flagship SUV model. Forget being put on a 6-month-long wait list. Instead, with Omaze, go to omaze.com/sarcasticchorus for a chance to win a Tesla Model X Plaid.
Hey, I wouldn't even try it, man. I wouldn't try them giveaways like them donate. Because if you donate, like, you be doing something for a good cause. Like, I ain't saying, like, don't go donate. But if you donate, there's like a 1% chance you getting that damn Tesla. There ain't no way. If there is like 10,000, okay, he gets 269,000 views. Okay, say 69,000 of them people have registered for that Tesla. You have like a 1 in a million chance, like a 1 in 69,000 chance to get that Tesla. That's not even worth it. Like, if you want to go donate, do it. Like, dude, go donate. But don't do it just because you want a Tesla.
The new Tesla Model X
I'm not
really has never
I'm not trying to be virtuous or anything. I'm just saying, like, don't waste your time if you think if you want a Tesla that bad, just save up and get one.
been more stylish or powerful. With all new interior and exterior model styling,
Mount.
go wherever you want and be the first to get there with their 10,020 horsepower engines just waiting at your fingertips. Taking you a quarter mile in 9.9 seconds and 313-mile range.
What are we, even
You guys
Fast and
know long-range
Furious?
travel, and you can't style with their 17-inch cinematic display and panoramic roof, allowing you to
Panoramic.
enjoy your favorite shows.
Panoramic. Light skins, like dark skins.
Support a great cause like Give Power and 501c3. Go to www.omaze.com/sarcasticchorus. This is a win-win situation. Go check out Omaze and do your part in helping the world. Back to the video. So shipping can be weird. What should be a dumb, fun pastime for fandoms often turns into a bloody flame war for no fucking reason. Some people just take it too far, and others, it's just not enough to like the same thing. You have to actively hate all the others. There's an actual human psychology reason for this. We as a species are social animals, naturally forming in groups that we identify as, the groups we perceive as threats, and those we just view as others. It's been shown that even babies will display this behavior. We just like it when good things happen to our
I
team,
never
and
met
love it when bad
nobody.
things
Oh no,
happen
she
to
doing the
everyone else.
beatboxing part.
It's who we are as a species, and we are working.
Let me guess, those two like each other or something? That's like the whole criticism. Like, that was the whole big issue, is those two liking each other.
What makes this a bit of a nightmare is how what gets judged to be the in-group is then labeled normal. So all other behaviors is then described as either being weird at best and other things at worst. This other camp is where LGBT people have been trapped in for roughly 2021 years, give or take, when Christianity took over, replacing the Roman attitude of so long as you're not a bottom, it's cool, which replaced the Greek attitude of man.
Nah, I think they're all bisexual. Maybe the girl, the panda girl, and then the green girl, those two are bisexual, and the rest of them are probably straight or lesbian, or bisexual. I don't know.
Mandatory teacher-student
Just assuming.
relationships. This is all a massive oversimplification, of course, but the idea is that for the mainstream culture in Western society, it wasn't until basically now that we've seen wider acceptance of LGBTQ people, as previously it was seen as a mistake or a mental disorder that needed to be corrected. Instead, we kind of know better now that it is in fact normal, as despite what the angry people in Florida want you to believe, these people exist. They will continue to exist regardless of the media they consume, and it's cruel to ask them to be anything other than themselves because you don't personally understand it. But in spite of this general increase of live and let live, the pushback against any attempt to increase the visibility of LGBT media or shows that just depict it has gotten a lot of backlash as they are, quote, forcing the topic of sex onto children. Now this...
No, they're not. It's just a bunch of girls fantasizing over like a band, while pandas and boys, like, they're a bunch of teenage girls, and they're in love with a band with a bunch of boys. It's like oh, what's that one band called? for no, not Forever 21. That's a store. Um, what is the band called? One Direction, like One Direction. They're pretty much like One Direction, but for like kids.
Is dumb for
I don't know. Was One Direction for like kids too? I don't know. I never listened to them.
number.
I'm lying. I listened like one or two. Because they went on a TV. They had a TV show, I think.
For starters, sexuality doesn't equal sex. Yeah.
Yeah. Who you are in love with doesn't mean that's who you want to have intercourse with.
Some men like having sex with other men. It's a thing. But just because a cartoon movie depicts two boys who might be gay doesn't automatically mean we'll see them have sex or it'll even be about that. I mean, take a look at every other Disney princess film. They never go farther than kissing. Because these films are designed to be for kids and adults. So they have to limit it like that to not piss off the parents. So as far as they'll go is kissing. You know, that common display of...
Because why would they... It's a Disney movie. It's not something that's coming out on Netflix that's rated R. No, HBO Max is rated R. Got nudity in it. This is just a cartoon. Like, this is meant for little children. And maybe like I'm pushing about 15 years old is about the limit for some of these people that should be watching these movies. Now Encanto, now that movie was so good. We don't talk about Bruno. Let me stop.
Of physical affection that you see everywhere. And in spite of Prince Eric pounding that tuna, just the
Whoa, wait a minute, what?
idea of two guppies potentially holding hands is enough to spark outrage in the more conservative communities, as they hold LGBT couples to a widely different standard than the hetero norm. As to them, the idea that some boys like other boys and that some girls like other girls, and everything else in the spectrum, is an inherently sexual topic. When
Does it matter? Like, if they don't make it weird or awkward or anything to the point where it's like uncomfortable to watch, it shouldn't be a problem.
really, when discussing it, it could be as banal as just holding hands. And really, just hypothetically, when putting it in shows, it can be as banal as kissing or, I don't know, who you hold hands with. To the homophobe groups, they immediately jump to sex, because that's the part they have always hyper-focused on, as the actual people involved are ignored. Luca is a great example of this hyperfixation, as people lost their minds over a possible gay love story between a 13 and a 14-year-old Luca and Bruno. And just to bring this up, 13, 14, everyone says they're too young. Take a look at Avatar between a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, and oh, no one complains, because different standards. In spite of Luca having the very obvious metaphor for the queer experience, locked behind the fish people allegory that could be applied to anything, because why say it when you can make money in China? Luca still drew visceral reactions from people who just really don't like gay people in their shows, despite being perfectly okay with LGBT groups being forced to subsist on straight media and subtext. The main argument against Luca and Bruno are that they're too young for any kind of relationship, because they're too young to think about
What do we need to... Okay. Don't drag the fact that these kids out here be having at like 12 years old. And don't bring this into like these Disney movies, man. These are kids. They're just having fun, man. Like, does it matter?
The only ones talking about sex here are the groups that don't want this representation in the first place. In the subsection of not safe for work that I shouldn't even have to say that I denounce. Besides them, there's just this general unawareness that people come into their sexuality at different ages. Some people, it takes a while to figure themselves out. Others basically realize it from minute one. Gay kids being gay.
Oh, whoa, what are we watching? Let me...
You want it to. If you want, you can dumb it down to who they like to hold hands with. But no, conversation always has to get dragged to these extremes, because that's the only way they can make themselves sound sane. To make it sound like it's propaganda that's altering the youth and not at all providing new information and providing alternatives that kids didn't know that they could take, and possibly allowing them to better understand their own feelings. But no, we need to make this about sex. You even have this idea thrown about that parents want to discuss LGBT people with their kids. A real T's and the B's type conversation. So absolutely no one else can even touch it. But yeah, okay, sure. Here's the thing. What about the kids that have already realized their queerness? Are they supposed to shut up and pretend to get along with all the other kids? Sit through the constant references to mommies and daddies, every straight couple that has ever been in a cartoon, ever. Like how they can just have young kids be couples in Amphibia and just no one will complain about it? No? That's ridiculous? As parents can't expect to be the only reciprocal of information that kids will learn from. That isn't the case now, and it has never been the case ever. Just like people complaining about racism being discussed in schools, racism happens. Kids experience it. And some people having the luxury to ignore it because it doesn't affect their children only leaves them ignorant of what other people are going through and prevents them from understanding and developing empathy for them. You're effectively teaching them to ignore the existence of others because it's not your problem. So, what they want is for their kids to grow up to be assholes. And another argument you hear a lot is that it's just too much. That LGBT media it's fine. I'm cool with it personally. We just wish it'd stop getting rubbed in our faces all the time. You know, nice, reasonable sounding requests. Am I right? No, it isn't. See, this idea has always been so funny to me. Like, it's actually hilarious. As you have a remote in your hand, you literally get to choose what media you shove your face into. But it's possible inclusion of something you potentially may watch, but that causes you to not watch it, plus throw in the fact that how little queer representation there are on TV. Yeah, that does kind of sound a little bit homophobic. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say that yes, they did want to watch something, only for it to slap one whole gay character in the show and hyper-focus on them. I don't know if you've heard this before, but not every piece of media has to be for you.
That is true. Not every character in every show gotta be gay. Or every show doesn't have to fit your, what's it called? Don't have to set your standards.
Shocking, I know, but let's just
for a
use
show.
less controversial topic to use as an example. Star Wars. Now, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans. And part of the problem is that Star Wars is different for everyone. Some people love magic space samurai stories. Other people like space cowboys. The fandom's just growing more and more territorial.
Space Samurai Cowboys! Let me stop.
Over which direction the franchise should take, making every new show they introduce a referendum on what is Star Wars. Is it terrible now, or is it amazing? Everyone is so focused on, what do I like?
It's booty. I watched one of the Star Wars. That's why I ain't watched none of the rest of it. That's why I haven't got into it. It's just for the simple fact that the 2 Star Wars movies I watched were absolute dog. Like, they were absolute, like, they completely trash.
Like, instead of wondering, is this for me? Some shows aren't made for older audiences. Some shows aren't about the Jedi. But what so many people get in their heads is that this show isn't for me, therefore it must be bad. Like, personally, I don't care for Rebels. Does that mean it's shit?
Bruh, nah, you ain't about to diss Rebels, nah. You ain't about to diss Rebels. Rebels was a good show. You ain't about to diss no Rebels now. Now that was a little weird. I don't know why they did that.
It depends. But personally, I know I am not the right age demographic, so I just move on. Because just because I don't really like Rebels doesn't mean that shows for me aren't being made. Which is the exact same thing people who complain about too much gay in their shows need to hear. Sometimes a show just isn't for you. Other times, it's for everyone, but the elements of LGBT representation causes people to turn away. That is not the show's fault. It's your preference.
He's showing them two so much. Did they end up together or something? Do they end up together? Alright? Because you're going to make me want to look this shit up. I don't want to look this up. Okay? I don't care to look it up. But I want to know now. That he's shown so many clips of them.
But gay media doesn't bother me. It's the same cliches, different couples. But I still can appreciate the landmark representation of differing worldviews that the creators bring. I love learning about different perspectives and worldviews as I believe those can enrich my own. I just find this idea that people trying to shut out all LGBT shows, all these characters, just because, no, they're teaching sex to her. I'm like, no, fuck no. Get a hold of yourself. That is a blatant lie, and you guys just need to...
Like, love is a part of life. Any type of love. Any.
Admit it. These people exist.
Ah, my legs.
For people to complain about acknowledging or even criticizing the amount of LGBT representation that we get, I just want to bring it back to those babies. Developing in and out group mentalities. Because that's the reason we need more representation in our children's shows. We need shows to be gay, to be more diverse.
To be gay or what? Wait a minute. What? I don't mind, but like, don't be shoving it in my face every time like you get a chance to. I ain't homophobic, and I don't care if you gay or not. Just don't shove that shit in my face. Like, I'm gay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, don't. It's not worth it. Cause you gonna turn people off to like the gay stuff and like LGBTQ and all that. Just don't shove it in people's faces, and no one's gonna care.
They treat non-hetero couples and people as just a different thing, rather than just focus on it being different. This whole fucking idea has just been so annoying to me. Like, it was really bad in Luca. This main Miriam thing is just as dumb. And every time it gets brought up, I'm like, no. Who the fuck is talking about sex? Why do people need to take it to such extremes? And you realize, no, they're just trying to do that so they sound sane. The thing is, these people exist, and they will continue to exist no matter the show that's on TV, no matter the law that gets passed. They exist, they are here, and you can't stop them. And remember to check out Omegs. This video is sponsored.
I was very